Hello, this is video number 1 of the Apache Tears purse. I started with a base row, and I believe that's about 4 inches wide, something like that. Then, for the Apache Tears rows, I started in the corner here, and I worked a row of maroon, a row of gray, a row of chartreuse, and then on the blue row here, I did the first tier. So I'm going to show you how to do that first tier. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th row, you would do the first tier. So if you were starting, take this one out, pretend that this is the very first row. So you would have had 1, 2, 3 rows down to the red done, and then the Apache Tears drop stitch is actually a triple crochet. So we start like a triple crochet, wind around twice, and you're going to pick up the left leg of that stitch 3 rows down. So 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows. So we're working into the red, the left leg of that red row. I'm going to pull through there once. Now you're going to complete your triple crochet. The only thing difference between the Apache Tears and a just triple crochet is where you're inserting, where you're picking up. You're not going along the top because you want that drop stitch. Now, originally in this pattern, we had a 7 stitch, but I have since decreased, so we're on a 6 stitch. So I'm gonna look on the back here. I worked from that one. I worked that stitch. This is the one I'm working into with the drop stitch. So I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go into this one, which is actually looks like the 3rd. So 1, 2, 3 stitches over, and I'm going to pick up a single crochet. So originally, before I decreased, I would have done 6. Now I'm only doing 5 because of the decrease row. But originally I would have done 6 single crochet, and none of these other tiers would have been here as a clue. But once you've got a tier row going, you have a clue. When you single crochet into that last tier stitch, you know you're ready to do another one. So here you have your tier stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5. In the original pattern, it would have been number 6. So I'm doing number 5. And then I'm going to do another Apache Tear triple crochet. A lot of times I have to pull aside to find that left leg. 1, 2, 3 rows down, because it gets a little buried. If you can't quite get it, I would go to the next one, and that'll happen sometimes. It's really not as important as long as you're in that 3rd row down. So now we're going to look again. We worked into that stitch. That one we're skipping because that's your Apache Tear row stitch, and we're going to go into that 3rd one there. So that's the basic pattern for the Apache Tears stitch. This is going to be a purse eventually. So what I did, as you can see, is I picked up a single crochet all the way around that bottom base rectangle. So I believe that This purse is about 20 inches wide when you flatten it out. So I'm going to go at least 20 inches, maybe 30 inches, because I want the purse to be taller than it is wide. And once you felt, it kind of does funny things. So look for video number 2. And what I need to show you there is how to, when you get around to that beginning, which I have a little marker here, how to skip a color. We're right to it already here because there's my marker. So when I come around with the brown, I'm not going to do a tier here with the brown. I'm going to stop a stitch or two beforehand, and I'm going to start the new color to do the tier. So I will be skipping just one tier so that I can continue on, and that way that keeps my beginning point right in this area. And that's important later on. So look for video number 2 of the Apache Tears purse.